At Home in the Wild is about restoring, reconnecting, and transforming relationships with the more than human world. To try to capture the beauty of the Yosemite. To tell the story of the giant sequoia and the ancient bristlecone pine. Many of us have had profound experiences in nature that we will never forget. Perhaps you can still feel the way you felt the first time you saw the Grand Canyon or Yosemite Valley. You may have felt lost for words in a grove of redwoods or moved to tears by the perfect sunset. On the top of a mountain or at the bottom of a waterfall, nature has the ability to give us supreme joy and incomparable beauty. To take us to paradise and deliver transcendent experiences that can change our lives. But you've probably also found it hard to sit still on a riverbank, or been unable to stop thinking enough to just relax at the lake. Maybe you missed the color of the flowers because you were too preoccupied by the notifications on your phone. Or wanted to watch the stars but were carried away by your thoughts. Why is it that we don't feel at home in nature all the time? What keeps us from having these transformational experiences and lasting memories every time we go outside? The short answer is that I think things get in the way and interfere with this connection. Due to the expanse of civilization, many of us are living lives insulated from our natural environment and isolated from the wild. For some of us, there are obstacles to spending any time in nature, much less the kind of quality experiences that can change your life. And even if we are able to make our way to places free from the noise and the loud symptoms of human civilization, we often find that much of our modern busy lives seem to follow us there. It's easy to see how distractions in the environment can interfere with our connection to nature. They can also make our experiences less powerful and keep us from enjoying the solitude of wilderness and feeling truly alive. I mean, it's really difficult to hear the symphony of the songbirds under the roar of the traffic. There are things that we can see, smell, or hear that can keep us from the relaxation and peace that can only be found in nature. Also, these distractions blind us from some of the beauty of the extraordinary wonders of the natural world. Just take a moment to think about it. Where would you have a more enjoyable, a more impactful, a more memorable experience stargazing or looking up at the stars? In Death Valley or in Times Square? Well, of course the answer is Death Valley, but why? Because you see more stars. The stars that are there shine brighter and they grab your attention. And you don't see all of the other stuff that's there to distract you or to take your attention away from the stars. But it's not just the pollution and desecration of our environment that can distract us. Even if we could eliminate all the spillover of human civilization, all outside noise and interruptions, we still must confront the struggle within our own minds. If you spend any time observing your own thoughts, it's startling to realize how busy your mind is, even when you're trying not to think. Even if you're not aware of it, there is a constant stream of thoughts. Maybe you're in pain physically. Maybe angry with someone or frustrated about something. Maybe you're just thinking about what you have to do when you get home, or something you did earlier that day. We worry, we get stressed, we have jobs, deadlines, chores, bills, goals, families, friends, hobbies. We watch TV and stare at our phones. And we think about things. And we keep thinking about things. We think on some more things. These distractions, feelings that captivate our attention, or the chatter in our minds, keep us from the fullness of these experiences because they interfere with the senses and with our brains processing what we're taking in. These distractions keep us from really paying attention to what's happening when it's happening. They keep us from really seeing what we're looking at, really smelling the fragrance in the air, really hearing the wind through the trees or the waves against the rocks. And in so doing, these distractions separate us from our experience. Often when we spend time in nature, our focus is on something else. What we're going to eat after, what happened at work the day before. Maybe someone you're with starts a conversation about the weather or politics, or what she saw in the news the night before, or anything like that. Often our focus is captured by something other than being here now. But this is something we can learn. We can train to focus our attention on this place, this experience, these things, here, now. And in doing so, have more memorable experiences that make us feel better, relax more, be more grateful, have more appreciation for nature. Sounds easier said than done? I want to introduce the idea of thinking about your connection with nature, your relationship with nature, as a skill, a talent, or even an art, something you can cultivate. Central to this practice is learning to harness your attention, direct your focus, and be able to resist other things from taking your attention. The key is in the amount and the quality of the attention you can dedicate to your time spent in nature. We have more memorable, more moving experiences when our senses and our thoughts are completely in tune and totally devoted to and captured by the nature experience in the moment. So when there are things that get in the way of that sensory information, or interfere with our emotions or distract our thoughts, we have much less enjoyable experiences in nature. We appreciate them less, and they're less likely to become etched in our memory. Just as the stargazing is better in Death Valley than Times Square, you miss the stillness of an alpine lake if you can't sit still. The purity of the desert landscape seems less impressive the more you look at your phone. Silence can be awful loud to an unsettled mind. The call of the wild summons us home. But if we're caught up with something else, we might not get the message. At home in the wild, helps you feel at home in nature. By approaching it as a skill you can cultivate, providing you with the tools to settle your mind and harness focused attention, and equipping you with techniques to increase awareness. Mindfully absorb what your senses are taking in. Tune out or shake off distractions. Release cares and worries that weigh you down. And in so doing, enjoy and appreciate all of the beauty, peace, and inspiration that nature supplies. Heeding the call and connecting with the wild majesty of the more than human world.